Today is the new moon, and it's the new moon in Sagittarius. So make sure you watch the spiritual weather report from Monday and do the meditation, because there's all kinds of magical, wonderful energies going on right now. However, expansion energy, because tomorrow Jupiter, which is expansion and good fortune, but it can expand things you don't want, and you want to keep looking for the silver lining. So we're entering this sacred space today that I've created already. And happy new moon. Somebody type, yes, you're live. I can see you. I can hear you. So it was quite a shock. After almost an hour, I went to stop the live stream yesterday. So I'm going to do a whole new reading today because you're here and we're here and it's a different day and it's the new moon. So obviously something wanted us to do the new moon readings today. So I'm going to share one thing with you. Yesterday we did, and we're going to today, we use this goddess deck. I think it's by Doreen Virtue. I'm not sure the name of it, but the goddess that came through for us, let me know if you can hear me. I haven't seen anybody say that yet. And here, so I can see. Okay. So Cordelia is a British or Welsh goddess, okay? And the card says go outside, be in nature, and that's always a great idea, but we look at reading the photo, the picture, the meaning, and the meaning to you, how does it make you feel? But the key things are, she's the goddess of fairies, so you have two fairies here, but they're not just fairies flitting around. They're really in a celebratory thing. This looks like a wreath being awarded to somebody. This looks like a halo. There's blooming flowers on the crown. There's a crescent moon on the third moon. This is a blooming of your inner eye, your crown, your antenna, your spiritual and intuitive gifts. And it's a celebration of that blooming. So the fairy realms are celebrating. And then the hair, which is often thought of as antennas, you know, antennas that connect, their intuitive antennas, they're coming down from her crown and becoming water, okay? They're flowing into the ocean. We have water energy and earth energy here, and she's, you know, floating in the fairy realms. But this is also like a halo of the activated pineal gland, then actually puts a glow out. Right? So there's something going on for us. There's some guidance right now. And I thought it was a very powerful guidance. So I wanted to share that before we go on and see who wants to talk today on the new moon. But this is a beautiful energy. There's something going on where we need to celebrate and accept that we're awakening, that we're in the blooming phase, even though we're going into the darkest part of winter in the northern hemisphere. There's probably a lot of flowering going on in the southern hemisphere, but the fairies are always there. The blooming is always happening. And if you perceive or receive other messages, like you have a special attraction to one of these flowers, there's a lot of shells here, shells throughout her hair, and shells in the wreath. And so this is ocean. And ocean is cellular memory. It could connect you to Atlantis or Lemuria. It's purifying. It's very wise. It takes up the most part of the planet. It is a very powerful part of Gaia and Earth, and it's an element of its own. And I just went out and got in the ocean. I only had about 10 or 15 minutes between all of my sessions today. And this, however, it was a perfect day. It was calm. It was beautiful. I'm watching all the birds and the pelicans fly over from where I'm sitting and doing my sessions. And I just went, you tell me the timing. And I went out and I had about 15 minutes before this call. So I didn't have a clock, and I handed it over to my intuition. And I went out and I walked and I floated and I connected to the infinite field and I cleansed and cleared and I enjoyed this beautiful, exquisite blue sky and the peace and the beauty everywhere. And I just got up when I felt ready and walked out and came in and took a shower. And I still had like a couple minutes till, to sit down here. So it was so beautiful timing. And that's kind of this idea, right, of blooming into being inside of and trusting and letting the other realms, the flower realms, also have intelligence. Flower essences are quite wonderful. They work with the emotional field a lot. So it's a beautiful healing and emotional healing. We have the fairy realms helping us. So I've brought in the ocean, and I'll show you these shells that came in today with me. I didn't walk anywhere to see anything. I just walked directly into the ocean and back out. We're right on the ocean. And I love these wings. So we've got two beautiful wings, a white wing and this gorgeous colorful wing. And you can tune into those energies right now too, because it's quite a beautiful, I'll put them right here. And this beautiful, wonderful guy. You see how big it is? My daughter always wants me to compare it to show her. Now, they're not all that big, but this is a beautiful one. So thank you to those energies, and thank you to Cordelia. So we're going to put her here on the altar where I share with you. Hopefully we can see this now. I tried to put something underneath here so you didn't see through to my legs. But I will be putting, maybe I need to move back a little bit more, I think. The cards right here, and underneath here I have a lot of different crystals. I have this wand and this protective eye. We have rose quartz. Okay, I have several obsidians. They're all sacred geometrical shapes. They're protective. They see through the dark and the shadows. They never let you be fooled. We have Merlin stone, labradorite, very magical, between the worlds. We have our communication turquoise stone. We have our crystal pyramid, or what I call your Akashic temple of clarity and light for 5D. 5D is where you leave judgment, you just observe, you see things without an attachment or an emotion. So I'm going to put Cordelia right over here on the side, and we'll move on to the next thing. So let's all take a deep breath in. And just ask yourself to be here now, to be in this sacred chamber, and give thanks to the gold and silver cone of light above and below, the overlighting deva of healing, and to these higher selves, and to these awakenings and awareness, and to those energies and realms that are here inside of this protective chamber between the worlds at infinity. And I enter this sacred space with an open heart, as a clear and open channel to my highest good and to that which is optimal for me at this time, whether it's something to remember or release, something to receive or renew. And you're handing that power over to your higher self and to your intuitive network and to your soul blueprint so that you can enter this space, a clear and open channel, ready and willing and open and receptive to this guidance. Now take a deep breath in. And everything we've just said, put it in that breath. Let it expand through your heart, and then let it go. And it expands 360 degrees. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we call on the Akashic guides and the guides that are optimal for each and every person to be here now. And we ask that there are 360 senses that we are gifted with, and any of those new ones that may be coming online, to be awakened as is optimal for each of us, and that we receive the answers and the direction and the guidance and the healing and the joy that is optimal at this time. So whatever you're going through right now, when you're watching this, and you could watch it again and get a different message because of where you are then. So there's no time, there's no space. In reality, we're speaking to a part of your infinite self, and your infinite self goes backwards, goes forwards, and you have many other lives in your soul, and you're connected to those in varying degrees depending on what your purpose is right now. What we're seeing with my students and with my private sessions, I'm doing a lot of Sacral Soul Secrets sessions right now, and they're on sale, I think, through today. The Black Friday sale is going on in the shop, and they really go deep into not just looking at what blocks do you have in your chakra in this area, where is it preventing your healing, where are you still carrying abuse from sexuality, where are you afraid of money, where are you hiding shame and secrets, where are you carrying guilt and blame. A lot of that, most of that lives not only, but really heavily in the sacral center. However, we're accessing your multidimensional self. And so in all of my sessions, like the Awaken Your Intuitive powers session. I get to scan your light body, connect with your higher self and your blueprint and your guides and whatever's optimal. And I get to see, where are you on your awakening of your intuitive gifts? Are you ignoring some that are ready? Are you still holding on to blocks to some of them or fears to some of them that we could go in and release in this life and multiple lives and free up a lot of energy, a lot of negativity, and a lot of old patterns. So a lot of people feel like they're being intensely squished, like pressure or resistance. Old fears like, what if I can't pay the rent, or who's going to take care of this person, or oh my God, I have so much stuff to do, and this thing. And it can steal your happiness. It can steal your high frequency. So today's the new moon. And if you're watching this later, that's okay. This new moon energy, and it's in Sagittarius. So it's expansive, it's joyful, it's philosophical, it's very spiritual, and yet it's fiery, it's free. It's a horse that runs free. It's a mythical, no boundaries to communicating with mythical creatures with other dimensions, acknowledging that you have this multidimensional self. All right. And we find the blocks and the powers, and we awaken and reconnect them, and whatever else comes through for your optimal highest good. And so what we'll do is, let me share with you right now. Let me make sure actually everybody's okay. Oh, good. I love fairies too. I know. And I do have a fairy deck that we're going to use one day, but it's not been calling me. I have all my decks laid out on a shelf upstairs by my, desk. I've been working down here in the casita, which is right here by the pool and on the ground level. And sorry. And so I have them there, and I'll just reach my hand up, or I'll glance over, and I'll let me show myself again. I'll just scan over them, because intuitively you want to start to communicate with the energies that are optimal for you. So if you're cleansing and clearing your light body, your mind, your emotions, you're clearing yourself from other people's opinions, from any conflict or fears or worries you have, from any part of you that is trying to drag you back into drama or fear, or keep you from maintaining a higher state of consciousness, no matter what's going on around you. So you can have things happening that are very painful physically, very painful emotionally, painful financially. There's a lot of instability right now. There's a little earthquake happening. We're changing an earth sign. Taurus is changing directions. And so that unsettling feeling right now is a perfect opportunity to access this, well, I don't know what will happen, but I don't have to keep recreating my life the same way. Right? So I just feel over, because my hand was the first way I learned to work with cards, to pick them. I would fan them out, and then I would run my hand over them. And then I would go back and forth, because I was not very open to my senses, and I wasn't sure what the communication went. Over here it felt a pull, and here it felt a little bit warm, but I wasn't sure. And, over 30 some years, I've worked on and developed my intuition, but that also means you're working on yourself, right? You're facing your fears, and you're going through your shamanic initiations, your journeys, your coming of age, your evolution through your spiritual things. And we're coming into the moment now of reuniting with our true spiritual self. And next year, we're going to be diving into the sacred feminine, really beginning to embody it as it's coming back online, slowly, slowly. So let me show you some of the fun things now. Woo-hoo, we're having so much fun today. Hopefully, is this what you're seeing? No, you're seeing, here we go. So this is shop.nanakasha.com, and the Black Friday sale's on already. And we have all these different things. You'll see them right at the top. So we have these incredible goddess journeys that come from a course that had 7 or 8 of them all together. And each of the journeys included information, channeled messages, a journey with them bringing their particular power back to you. The big new one is this body, mind, home, money, and protection. I'm going to teach these 3 cleanses, and you're going to be empowered to cleanse your body and your mind, all the way through your emotions, cleanse yourself from other people's energies, cleanse yourself after a fight, after a disappointment, after something big like a death, or after something small, just like not feeling good today. You can cleanse your home, your office, any place, and you're going to be able to create a protective energy. What does that do? It's not hiding you from anything. It's not a wall like the emotions have done in the past. So if you're working on a belief, it will help cleanse the belief. And if you're working on your money issues or asking for money or expressing yourself more, it will cleanse whatever is optimal in your entire multidimensional field. And I'm doing this because so many people and so many healers and so many parents and so many light workers do not have a practice daily to cleanse and clear themselves. It's absolutely crazy. So you don't have to come live, but it's going to be 2 days in December. And I'm doing it on a Sunday, which I never do, but it was called to do that because people need this for the holidays. You need this to work through the big energy that's coming in, the dark that we're walking through, reaccessing your light, going through being with family or going through being the first holiday without family, assessing, a lot of people right now have gone through just enormous changes, enormous painful things, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, family-wise, just huge changes this year. So if you come here, you're going to walk away with 3 ways. You're going to understand why and how, and the more you do it, you're activating yourself back onto your soul path, into your soul frequency, and you'll be able to protect yourself from your husband or your kids or your coworkers, even though you have to live in the same space. And it's not to say they're wrong, it's for you to find your space. So I could go on and on about how important that is, but please make sure that you check that out. It's I don't know, $75 or something. It's very, very low price right now. Some of the private sessions, Awaken Your Intuitive Gifts, Magnetize Your Beloved, Get Your Chakra Scan, Sacred Soul Secrets is still on sale for today, and we have the money session of clearing and cleansing your beliefs, your blocks, and rewiring you to your abundance. I did a sacral session yesterday that was so long and powerful because it went to 7 different sacral centers in past lives that held trauma from different places that then translated into how she was able to feel about being worthy, about asking for or charging money, about having enough money, about how she felt about herself, worthiness, all of this. It was really very powerful. And you can also do the Meet Your Money Muse. What does that mean? That means that we look at your money mask, which is all of your fears around money. We scan your field, we see where they are, what the vows and the other things you're holding in your field, and then we cleanse it. We disconnect in a really beautiful way, not by chopping things up, but by accepting and integrating it. And then you get to meet your money muse, which is what can this energy of money that is an expansive energy of support of your dreams, it's just energy from source. And how can you now relate to it? What can it become for you? So I did these sessions for many, many years, and they were so astoundingly powerful when you see in an energetic, or you feel in your body, or you understand in an archetypical way, the energy that your beliefs around money, whether you're aware of them or not, are embodying your ability to attract, receive, ask for, trust yourself with money or wealth or possessions or worthiness or success. Okay, all those things. So it's really fun. The Spirit Guide Journey of the White Tiger is only $11, so you can access that. All these classes, Higher Self class, Pineal, Third Eye class, Releasing Yourself from Stuck Patterns, very powerful class. They're all half price. And the Soul Discovery Package, where you do 4 sessions with me in a month, and we reconnect all the soul levels, the purpose, the mission. We retrieve the parts that are stuck. We do attunements. It's just a wonderful soul festival for a month, and I walk with you through all of that. So there's some more here that are under $10, abundance meditations and a little course on awakening your senses, and we have the intuitive manifesting workshop, and that's half price now. The shame cleanse is very cheap. So all of these things are here at the shop, and you also want to pay attention each day because we're working on some really, really cool new sessions and things that we're going to be offering you in over the next 4 or 5 days through Monday, Cyber Monday. So they're going to be flash sales on some new and exciting things at really incredible prices. Okay, wow, that sounded like a little, that sounded like this, I don't know, like an old-fashioned commercial or something. So, okay, so what we're going to do now is tune in to what are the energies that are optimal at this time today on the new moon. And we are here ready and willing, open and receptive to embody this sacred space. So we're being shown that we're in the center of darkness, which is the new moon. But we're standing at the center of what looks like a very calm lake, maybe inside of a cave, but there's a glowing blue light all around the horizon, and you can just see the surface of the black waters around you. You're standing in the center of them, looking like a glowing body of some kind, and your head is glowing. The front of you all the way down across the heart is glowing. The rest of you is kind of dark and silhouetted. You're facing away from me, and you're looking at the horizon where there is a blue light beginning to rise. So in the darkness of this new moon, we are here. We are here as a clear and open channel to the seeds that it's optimal for us to plant right now. And we're here to ask, what is the first step in bringing these seeds and making sure that we are depositing seeds that are purified and cleansed, that are aligned with light, lined with the silver lining, filled with fortune, joy, expansion, possibility, freedom. So the first step, they're saying, is to step into these waters and cleanse yourself. And this is like stepping into the moon, because the moon is your emotions, the moon is your feminine, sacred feminine, and they're black, they're still, there's nothing here to fear. So as you see and sense yourself, we're going to call on a goddess from this goddess deck, and we're going to ask her to give us our guidance right now on this first step of planting our seeds here in the new moon. So what is the sacred feminine energy that we're sinking into? And this is a sacred space. It's just pure yin, pure receptive energy. Like a womb or a black hole. It is deep, but it isn't scary. It is full of potential and love. It is full of fertility, abundance. It's full of caring. So we're tuning in to the sacred feminine guide that is ready to come forward for us. Beautiful. So guess what? It's one of the goddesses that we put on sale for you at only $27.50 for today. It's Bridget, and she's a Celtic goddess. And it says, don't back down, stand up for what you believe is right. So maybe you resonate with the words, maybe you don't. This is you as you step into this. You're just going into the deep, dark waters of your sacral, of your feminine, of your emotion here in the new moon. Because first you have to wash the seeds that you're going to plant. You have to purify. So Bridget is a goddess of fire and water. And when I did the goddess sanctuary with her last year, or I don't remember if it was earlier this year or the previous year, but it was amazing because I knew her as a triple goddess, and I knew her as a Celtic goddess, and I knew her related to this triple spiral triskele, I think it's called, symbol. So all of those things are things you want. You see this symbol here? This is one of her symbols too. And it's very important. It's very similar to many cultures or many spiritual traditions that have the four directions or the square pyramid or the four doors around a mantra or a Sri yantra in Hindu or Buddhist traditions. And it connects to the four directions and to the levels of nature. So she's a nature goddess as well. And you can see all the Celtic symbolism around her, but she's standing in an archway. So the fact that she's standing in an archway and she's holding what over her heart looks like fire to me. So she's a fire goddess. And so you can resonate with stand up for what you believe in. Don't back down. Maybe it's time for you to speak up to yourself or about your choices. Maybe to someone else. Don't rush out and make rash decisions, but look at this and feel into what is the guidance for you, because this is the purifying step. So you're stepping into the waters. That is part of her. She is the goddess of still waters, the still wells of the Celtic lands. And all Celtic was very based in the earth. So this is a very earthy sign as well. So she's coming to help you walk through purifying. And she's holding the fire in her heart. So this is the fire of spirit, the waters of your emotion and your creativity, the earth making real, planting these seeds so that they make real. So all of these elements have come together to purify you, to purify your intentions, your feelings, your emotions, because you are the seed. You can say, oh, I want to plant this and I want to plant that, but the words only hold this much power. When you become that, I'm ready to be in harmony, appreciating my life in every moment, present in this moment. I ask the sacred fire, the sacred waters, and the powerful balanced earth of Bridget to guide me through purifying my mind and heart, my intention, my connections, that I may plant these seeds. They've been purified by the fire of my spirit to be reconnected back to the truth that I am. Okay, and I ask these sacred waters so you can feel like you're walking through them, perhaps. Okay, and this is the guidance of the first step. So take a moment to do this as we tune in to Bridget. So she brings together three aspects of the sacred feminine. She is like a flame that has many parts of it moving at different rates, intensities, heights. She's fluid and flows. She burns away, but mostly brings light to the dark well that is deep within us. She now brings this light so that as you slip into the dark waters in this sacred new moon, there's the positive, joyful, loving silver lining all around you. But you must move through these dark waters, and she is lighting the way. This fire is not fire that can be put out by water or weeping, by grief, shame, or sadness. This is not a fire that can be put out by blame, torture, abuse, by being silent. This is the flame of your heart, and it will grow stronger whether you listen or not. The brighter it gets, the easier it is to move forward. However, it gets brighter faster if you move forward through this darkness with the certainty and the trust that you are guided by me and your ancestors. You're connected to the three worlds. You're connected through the infinite spiral, the infinite circle. These flows of life keep you moving forward. Now is the time to let the waters and the fire draw gently from you any fears, any lack, any energies that would infect these seeds from being pure light, connected to your best new future optimal self that's full of rainbows and light and happiness and purpose. And no matter what the breakdown of home or job or work or money or relationships, none of it will stop me. None of it will stop me because I see it for what it is. It is the metamorphosis. It is the reality changing. It is my senses awakening. I walk with Bridget now through these dark waters. I am the light, my heart and soul. I allow my soul gifts to call me forward. Now take a moment and be with this. Now, if you listen to the replay, you can pause it here and you could stay for a deeper healing. Allow this to repeat. Do this for several days at least, and allow the different energies to come up. Remember that Cordelia is here as well, and she says for you to move forward, that you're being celebrated, that you're blooming, that your connection to your intuitive truth is flowing, that your third eye is awakening, that the fairies are here to guide you. So you have these two sacred feminine guides with you right now. You have these wings from the sea. Now we're going to move to the Starseed Oracle. And the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell with the artwork by Danielle Noel is an absolutely exquisite deck. The primary image looks like this. I love the look. I love the sacred geometry. This is a tetrahedron. Often this is a way to see your light body with you here inside of it. I love the four corners, the different dimensions, the cosmic feeling to it, the soft flower colors, the flow. This is often how energy feels when you're in harmony. It's like an infinite potential or doorways into the infinite. So we did use this yesterday, and I'm not sure if it's here what we got, because it wasn't on the top, which means maybe it's not important right now. So our next question is that as we emerge from this cleansing with Bridget and Cordelia by our sides, we call on the Starseed Oracle. We call on our Starseed self. We call on the part of us that remembers our truth from the stars that we have lived in, from the universities we have attended in the different stars. And we ask for this cosmic nature, whether it be past, present, future, potential, in any other level of my soul, or any mentor or guide to me. I'm ready to connect to this starseed energy in a clear and open way so that my next step is through the stars. I ask for the guidance of how to now walk with my purified energies, being the seed that I'm going to plant through the stars to gather the light, the codes that I'm ready to plant now. I'm ready to become a cosmic and galactic citizen, the new intuitive self. So hold that thought. Many people have many star seeds. Many people have traveled, lived on, or began their conscious soul journey at a particular star or different planet. And you've had many, many lives on Earth, and you've had potentially many lives in other realms, other dimensions, other planets, and in different times and dimensions. So you are truly a multidimensional self, and we're calling on a group guidance from the Starseed Oracle that we may navigate through the stars, and in this beautiful energy, as our dreamy sensitivities and intuition begin to expand now and tomorrow with Pisces, we ask for guidance from the starseed realms for this planting. Here we go. This is empathic starseed. Wow, how perfect. Energetic sovereignty, that means freedom, independence, belief in yourself, strength, confidence, absorbing what's not yours. So this is quite beautiful. And as you tune into it, make sure you can see it. All right. I'm going to maybe try to bring it closer to you. So you can look at the words. And now start to feel the picture. How does it make you feel? How does it make you react? You can see this is you coming out of this cosmic folded cloud-like energy, but it's also like a rose, and it's like blooming, it's opening, and you're coming out of it. And everything here is very ethereal, very cosmic, very soul-oriented, right? But there's a frame. And the frame is a doorway, but it's like going through the looking glass. It's like there's water or a mirror or a dimension or a transparent or not transparent division between you and your starseed abilities, you and your empathic abilities. And so this is a very exciting because so many empaths have felt too sensitive and tortured and having a difficult time in this life. And it's important that you remember and you realize that you are multidimensional. Yes, you're from the stars, but you're also from Earth. Yes, you right now are in an Earth body, so you're very connected to Earth, but Earth is a star. So you're a star seed on another planet where you came from Earth. And you could go to other planets. A lot of times when you're waking up at 3 or 4 a.m. all the time, or 2 a.m., whatever, there's a reason. You're going to another planetary university, okay? And you're getting lessons. You're remembering. I actually had a client the other day have a Sacred Soul secret session, and we were in the heart center, and on the other side of this like huge cavern that looked down into the sacral center, but into the solar plexus and stuff, was these Syrian beings who are spiritual blue light beings, and they come through at different times to the planet very strong. They've been a strong part of our history, bringing us spiritual guidance. They are very high frequency. They don't manipulate, use, suck power. They're always there as guides, and they're embedded in her heart, and they're saying she needs to reconnect to us and begin or get back into her spiritual training. So she had been working with them in this life and in other lives, but she did not remember it, and she had cut it off. Like many people, she'd gone through trauma and she'd shut down, and now she's waking up, and the fears are coming up to using your intuition, to remembering these things, to believing these things, to letting your life be led by that. So empathic starseed, you don't have to feel like you're an empath. However, if you feel things you don't like and you feel things you do like, then you're being empathic. And you want to be able to, like the cleansing course I'm doing, this is perfect for empaths and sensitives of all kinds, and energy workers and light workers, and like I said, humans and parents and people who interact with people. If you want to not be so empathic that you're poisoned and affected and knocked out for days by people's energies, like I know people who are just beautiful, open-hearted people and giving souls. However, they've never learned to find their own boundaries. They've never learned to cleanse and clear their energies, their mind from everybody else's opinions, from the past beliefs they were told about being worthy, to cleanse their body from people they've been around who are grabbing into their solar plexus and hooking into their emotional body, and criticism and just all kinds of energies. Empaths and sensitives, all of us have been through stages where we remember being open and free and really dancing with ourselves and feeling safe in being ourselves, and then something happened. You were yelled at, or you were burned at the stake, or anything in between. And so there has been a fear of speaking up, a fear of being an empath, a fear of being a sensitive, and a fear of truly embracing your spiritual gifts or your energy gifts or your true soul or your connection to your higher self, all of that stuff. And so this is saying that you're a star seed origin, all of us. And part of the seeds, interesting, this is seed, that we're planting today in the new moon is part of energetic sovereignty. As an empathic star seed, you came here and you have been absorbing what's not yours. You've been reflecting other people. You've been looking into the mirror of what do they think and what do I need to be and how do I need to be organized, and I couldn't stop the death of this person. Of course you couldn't, but like we take on these fears and these responsibilities and these obligations, and they get heavier and heavier through different lives. And right now you're at the pinnacle of a life that is clearing all kinds of past lives. So I highly recommend get some kind of session with me, because so much stuff is coming up, so much stuff is going out, and it's why so many people, I'm doing like 5-6 sessions a day plus classes. So right now is an excellent time, and I am working tomorrow, Friday, not tomorrow, and I am working next week. So keep in mind that this is about you getting guidance about becoming sovereign, becoming independent, not needing someone to tell you what to do, not needing to rely on anybody for money or anything else, becoming sovereign in your empathic abilities, in your intuitive abilities. Stop absorbing what's not yours. Now, to me, this is an invitation to go through that mirror, turn it into a portal. Well, the new moon is a portal. Right? It is a portal. So this is your way through the stars. Go ahead and absorb this and see what messages are coming through to you. Breathe it in. I am ready to embrace my energetic sovereignty, my freedom from being a prisoner of my empathic senses and abilities. I shed all beliefs that they're negative. I shed all beliefs that I'm too weak, too sensitive. I shed all attachments to anything negative, anything that limits me, from anything short of joyfully accepting and harmonizing with my empathic, intuitive abilities. I allow the star seed within me, my blueprint within me, from those places that I've been, from those trainings, those universities, those mentors, those other lives, those other planets, the beautiful spiritual high-level love I accept, and I let it lift me up. So the next step on planting your seeds in this new moon is to realize that you don't now ever need to absorb what's not yours, and you can move through that reflection of everybody else into your energetic sovereignty. Again, if you're listening to the replay, you can then stop this here and go deeper into that step if you're feeling called. These are all the way I work is I'm working with you in your light body and your energy, the sacred space that I set up, that I teach you in this cleansing course that's coming up. It's all working with you. It's like having a team work all the time to make sure that your space is connected to your highest good, that you're getting the messages that you need, that any negative energies, if they come up to be released, that they are being released, and that there's nothing toxic or new coming in. Okay. Okay, beautiful. So our last deck is this deck called the Sacred Spirit Reading Cards. This is Anna Stark, illustration by Louise Dyer. This is a new deck for me. I find it to be absolutely exquisite, and I find every single card to be rich and deep. Of course, you can do full readings if you want. If you want a full Celtic Cross reading with any of the decks that I want, I'm going to be offering that soon as an option, as a private session. And you can choose any of these decks, or we can see what's optimal for you. So the card that came through yesterday for 11/22/22, think about that. That's very powerful. Okay, 1 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and all the meanings that are there. So unity and so on. This came through and it said a 35 is an 8. That's an above and below spiritual connection through an infinity flow. It says spiritual evolution, set your heart free. So I'm inviting you to set your heart free. In the image, we see somebody standing in the dark. They're standing in the unknown. Maybe you're standing at a point in your life right now in the dark moon, or in the phase in the northern hemisphere as we move into the dark, right? And so as we move into the dark, up until the solstice, what do? We look for the light. And this is what this is doing. This is saying your path to spiritual evolution is to remember to connect to the above and below, to set your heart free and stand face to face with the light. So to me, this looks like clouds, but also like looking into water and looking into the light shining through the water. And it's shining through with such an exquisite, multi-divided, sacred geometrical star. And there's these different birds flying. So there's freedom and there's feathers and there's spiritual feathers, but your next step on your spiritual evolution is to set your heart free. So you might want to include this energy in your seed planting steps. Now you can plant your seeds again and again. You don't have to just do it right now when you're doing this with me live, or do this as a exercise once. You can look at this again, the recording, of course, and you can also look at, hi Joe, hi Irita, hi Mona, and Sylvia, and Damaris, hi sweetie, how are you doing? And Sandra, and Anne, and Enza, and I don't know who else was here. Hello, hello. Isn't it a wonderful new moon? So it's a very magical new moon, and the only real caution is that between Sagittarius and Jupiter right now still being in that subconscious, still whispering to us, but getting ready to go out the door tomorrow and start moving forward, expanding, expanding, expanding. If it's expanding emotions or fear, stuff like that, then you sit in it because it's going, and then you can let it go out the door, right? Okay, so the last step in our seed planting here on the new moon, we call on the Sacred Spirit cards, and this is what they look like. If I can see this. Here we go. Beautiful, luminous tree. Look at this. Oh my goodness, just exquisite. All right. And we call on the sacred spirits to bring us the guidance for this final step, for moving through the waters and the deep sacral emotions with Bridget, for remembering that we have all this intuitive awakening and connection, for moving through this looking glass that has seemed like something reflecting back to us who we don't want, and remembering that we're an empathic starseed and we can be free to no longer absorb anyone else's energies. So now we land, we come into this sacred space within us where we are here to plant our seeds that will grow from this new moon, that will grow and expand very quickly, that will be covered with silver linings and full of fortune, abundance, and happiness, full of joy and dreams come true, as is aligned with our highest good. So we ask for guidance from these sacred spirits on landing here and releasing this, feeling that we're good enough, accepting and loving ourselves, being excited about who we are, what we've birthed. We're almost like we're laying an egg. Because like when the serpent rubs against uncomfortable, rough things to get off that old skin and to release that old identity, it is already beautifully formed underneath. There's no rawness. It's already formed its new self. It already has a new crown chakra in its rattle. It already has shed a layer of pain, shed a layer of the past. So we want to land and allow these seeds of who we are and ourselves and our light body and our mind and our emotions and our connection to our expansion and our freedom. We're getting ready to run free with Sagittarius. We're getting ready to expand. Why not gallop through the dark? Because I am the light. Feel a silver glowing lining coming around you and welcome in this spirit guide to help us so interesting. Between worlds, new directions. Number 5, and 5 is a completion number. And we have a turtle. This gorgeous turtle is in a yellow sea. It has bubbles that look like a honeycomb here. So there's bee energy, there's honeycomb energy. In fact, looking at this upside down, this almost looks like a bee. There's some wings here. There's a lot of energy and magic. There's sacred geometry shapes going on here too. Remember, the honeycomb shape is a very high frequency shape, and it is what powers the bees to be able to fly when their body weight is too heavy as far as physics is concerned. It energizes them. When you're between the worlds, you have gold light, starlight, you have bee energy here, honeycomb energy charging you up. You have the sacred geometry of the turtle, Mother Earth, and all the sacred energies that this beautiful earth and turtle, it's part of the seas again. So we're getting this gorgeous guide. So when you're ready to plant your seeds, we want a silver lining. We're being given a gold lining, like a multi-dimensional gold lining. So I want you to see your seeds, the essence of who you are, how you have entered this moment. You don't even need to know what it is. Just pull it from your heart gently and lay it right here in the middle of this, where this little turtle is. Right here in the center. This is like a seed, if you look at it from far away, right? And this is like surrounded in dirt or earth, but it's yellow. So it's sun energy and it's solar plexus energy. And that means your will and your power and your truth and your strength and your balanced masculine. And it's all around you. It's encompassing whatever it is that you have come to this moment holding that is optimal for you to plant in this new moon. So allow yourself to deposit it here between the worlds so that it can grow in new directions, spiraling through all these dimensions, accessing all these star energies. Gold ray, 12th ray energy is the ray that contains every other ray in it. It's like having the crayon box with every crayon. You can create anything you want. This is infusing whatever you are, whatever you've brought to this new moon. The honeycomb and bee energy is raising your frequency. And this pollen energy, all the benefits of pollen that we know of, lighter and lighter. Feel this. Now we release into this new moon the seed that we have planted, the seed we have become. We thank it with gratitude and blessings, whether we know what it is or not. We know that it is between the worlds, surrounded with love and light, going in a new direction. We know that it is guided by Brigitte, by the fire in our heart, purified by the still waters of the deepest parts of us, and finding balance in manifesting into the world. We allow the blossoming of our inner eye and our crown and the awakening of our halo and our intuition to flow and guide these seeds, to remember that they know how to unfold, to trust and love ourselves, and to allow our energetic sovereignty to blossom. Becoming more connected to that star seed, you slip through this portal and release into this new moon. Now you feel yourself almost like you're laying on the shores or laying in a hammock, or you're just, this huge, amazing experience has unfolded and you're resting, you're blissful, it's calm. It's like rocking back and forth. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We give great thanks to this sacred chamber and to this connection into the Akasha and to these sacred energies of light, to our higher selves, to all the guides that have been here. We give thanks to Cordelia and the sacred feminine goddess energy of Brigitte, the elementals of water, earth, fire, air, star seeds. We give thanks to our intuitive selves and we allow it to awaken. Thanks to the turtle spirit, to the infinite field, to the new direction that we're moving in. Now rest, beloved, rest and allow yourself to accept and understand that this is true for you. You don't have to know how. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Thank you. So we have a few shows coming up over the next few days as well. We're going to do a star seed reading show, probably Monday. And perhaps this weekend I'll do a zodiac kind of reading, show you what you can learn by balancing the powers in your zodiac sign, primarily your sun sign, but of course you're more complex than that. However, it's taking a huge part of your structure, and instead of having it divided or feeling disconnected or being outdated or all the things I saw. So today I did a session and it was fascinating because it was a sacral session. However, whatever we see in the sacral session takes us deep into what is the biggest issue right now. So matching exactly what this client came with, the journey unfolded, not seeing and understanding at first how this was related, and seeing at the end, holy wow, like she said, she goes, like, everything you said, you were just nailing it and nailing it. Inside I was going, yep, yep, yep. You were seeing me. And that's how this works. And it was so amazing because she said, I feel disconnected and I can't really see or connect to my higher self. I'm not sure if I'm receiving guidance. I feel disconnected when I go into sacred space, even though I do the meditations. And so that was our primary guide. If you have that feeling, this is an amazing time, because we saw those parts of her and they had been unplugged and they looked like old 50s mechanical toys that were still doing the motions and going through the old programs, but not having enough power to really go forward. And they kept dragging her back into old emotions. And it was just absolutely stunning. And part of what came through was this I forgot I have my little shells on. Oh, part of what came through was her Aquarian nature, her sun sign nature. So it was very awesome to watch that one part of your makeup, right? You have an astrological makeup and you have different vows that you come in with, and you have different layers of your soul blueprint. So one layer of your soul blueprint is like your astrological natal chart. But different than just knowing your natal chart, this is embodying and seeing into, I'm a Sagittarius. What does that mean? Where have I embodied these qualities? And there's qualities on both sides. There's balanced and unbalanced. There's empowered and distracting, right? So being too spontaneous and, too trusting, or knocking things down, or lighting things on fire, burning myself a lot. These are funny qualities I found out about a Sagittarius later in life that are true for me. And other qualities, emotional qualities. Maybe you have a sign that gets mad. Maybe you have a sign that has a lot of deeper anger, but you also have a sign that's very philosophical or very spiritual. So there's different aspects above, below, within, and without. The duality of your sun sign is the key to a huge amount of your power and understanding your blueprint and who you are. So I wasn't going to say anything, but starting Sunday, I'm going to have a flash sale offering signs of aligning you with your zodiac sign, aligning you with your sun sign specifically, seeing where they are. So it's like a deep shamanic session. It's a deep wherever, I don't know, we're going to go. We're going to find where the different aspects of your sun sign have been operating, the identities they've taken on. And if you feel stuck in reacting from fear or anger or whatever, like you're letting your mind, a lot of signs are mental or they're air. So that means that maybe they're always stuck in their head and they have a hard time getting out of their head, right? And stop planning and stop thinking, or they feel guilty if they're not planning and thinking, right? And so all of these things are just imbalances. And those two parts of you can come together, and we can clear those old ways of you embodying this part of your blueprint and get you aligned and reconnected. And it was beautiful to watch the healing, the Akashic Guide and the higher self were like weaving new wires into the spine and into the brain and into the mind. They were shifting the energies of both sides, the part that was just pure heart and expansive and wanting to just run around with, this open spiritual nature and receive, which is fabulous. But then it was always stopped and pulled back by the mind going, no, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do it the right way, you have to be the perfect girl. And I'm using some of these examples because they're very common energies that manifest differently in different stories for people. And so seeing these two things, and they were both outdated, and there was a big place in the sacral where we saw things that were being stored that weren't being let go. And so there's this just incredible thing. But what I loved about it was getting to reconnect to the powers that you are, to bringing both of these aspects, the feminine and masculine, the things that you've mastered in the physical world and the logic, and the part of you that is used to be intuitive or used to have visions or used to see fairies, or sometimes does now, or that is blocked to hearing, or that wants to hear better. So I have students in Intuition Awakening, and it's on sale, and you really got to get it, okay? You can go at your own pace, but starting in the new year, we're going to be having the live practice sessions. So you can do the courses step by step by yourself all through the holidays, and then you'll be able to attend the live practice sessions, and they're quite incredible. However, this is like the most important thing you can do for yourself, right? And so when you understand that you are philosophical, you're wise, you can see in multiple perspectives. This is Sagittarius. You are the hermit on the within, and you're also the guiding light on the hill. You're joyful and spontaneous, and you love earthly pleasures, and you love freedom, and you hate being told what to do. However, you love the sense of being allowed to be who you are, and everything being a harmonious vibration for you. And then you can see and travel worlds, but then you like to bring it in and make it practical. All right, so you can see that's just an example of some Sagittarius aspects that are sort of opposites, and yet you're both of them. So you have other things that make up who you are, way you were raised, the soul patterns and beliefs and fears that you brought with you, parts of your soul purpose of what direction you're going to. So the more spiritual work, the more you cleanse and clear yourself, the more you're going to align with your destiny, with your path, with your purpose, with your soul purpose. And it's going to be naturally guiding you much more quickly and much more easily, in some senses, on your path. And that doesn't mean it's going to stop you from falling down and breaking your arm. If that's part of it, it changes how you experience falling down and breaking your arm. What you realize is happening. Instead of feeling the pain and feeling the grief and feeling the blame and feeling the frustration, you drop out of that to a higher state of consciousness and you start to use your powers in your zodiac sign and whatever other gifts you have awakening right now. And we often see that. We often see, hey, these intuitive gifts are coming. So this zodiac sign is going to be an awesome new thing on sale starting on Sunday. Okay, everybody. Oh, that was so much fun. Many, many blessings. Oh, good. Thank you so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm just receiving all the thank yous. I really resonate with the turtle. I know, just gorgeous. And we have had turtles born on our property both for 2 years now, or we've been here about a year and a half, 2 summers in a row. It's beyond words, the description. Behind this on the wall is a huge turtle painting. This table next to me is painted with turtles. I have a little baby turtle over there on the wall as well as seahorses and dolphins. And so it's a wonderful sea of things. But what I love about this card is that this is a sea of gold light. This is different than us feeling or receiving elemental information from the ocean or from waterfalls or from pure still waters in a well or pure still waters in a cenote. This is a different kind. So this is what's around us, the part of us that we've planted as the seed right now in the new moon. Woo! So I would so love it if you would send me a message and let me know what happens and what you feel, and then make sure you subscribe so that you know when we go live, because we're going to be doing some readings over the next week, because Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. If you're celebrating, if you're not, it's okay. Celebrate gratitude. Be grateful, be grateful, be grateful. Plant these seeds full of gratitude. Take the energy of 11/22/22 yesterday, which is why I wanted to do it then, because we did do it, and we'll bring it into this beautiful new moon energy, which is being the 23rd matches next year, right? This is a connection to 2023. So enjoy this guidance and trusting your intuitive. Namaste.